Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to take a look at one of the most fascinating accessories ever released for the PlayStation, the PSOne LCD Screen, featured in this beautiful combo pack released in the early 2000s. It was an interesting time for Sony, as they were trying to expand their share of the market as well as their audience, while riding the wave of the incredible success of PlayStation. And this little screen right here is one of the most impressive achievements of those times. Let's get into it. The PSOne LCD Screen is a peripheral officially developed and released by Sony, intended to be used as a companion exclusively for PS1, the redesigned version of the legendary PlayStation. While it was initially planned to be released alongside the PS1 on July 7, 2000, the LCD screen was delayed due to Sony being busy with the PlayStation 2 launch. The screen later released in Japan on October 12, 2001 and on November 15, 2001 in the US, as well as Europe on April 24, 2002. And shortly after, this combo pack was released. Inside the box we can find instructions, cables, a controller and the LCD screen already attached to the PS1 console. As you can see, the screen connects directly to the back of the PS1 through the AV multi-out and DC ports, and then fixed in place with two screws. When mounted, this leaves the PS1 with a headphone jack and a mini AV port for camcorders and other devices and an AC port. When the peripheral is connected, all video and audio goes through the LCD screen, with no way to connect to any other monitor while the screen is attached. The screen fits flawlessly on top of the console when closed and opens up like a notebook, revealing the 5-inch TFT liquid crystal display with a resolution of 320 by 240 pixels, the standard resolution of most PS1 games. We also have two stereo speakers that can be used, with the already mentioned headphone jack as an alternative for sound. In the front we have buttons to regulate the brightness of the screen and the volume of the speakers. It's now time to test this little screen. Let's take a game worth trying for our test. The first thing I noticed when turning the PS1 and the screen on is the speakers. They are surprisingly loud. I can definitely see anyone who could use this screen on a trip or whenever you're not at home and still enjoy the PS1 classic library without a problem. I sure brought my PlayStation anywhere I could when I was a kid, so back then it made sense. Now obviously, as you would expect from an LCD TFT panel of the time, this is not a perfect screen. The viewing angle is not exactly the best. The colors, while good, can look kind of washed out at times, and some text is kinda hard to read due to the size of the screen. But overall, it gets the job done. It's actually good, although it really doesn't show its full potential on video. This unit in particular is in pretty great conditions, pretty much brand new. So much that the screen protector is still there. Maybe I should... Nah. Let's take another game worth trying. Now, you may ask yourself, why use this? Well, here's the thing. In 2001 and 2, when the PS1 and this LCD screen released, the PS2 was already in stores, but the PS1 was still selling like crazy. Just think about this. In 2001, in a market where PS2, Xbox and GameCube were fighting to win the generation of consoles of the time, the PS1 still outsold all of those consoles. That's how incredibly popular the PS1 still was in that period. When you think about it, it makes sense. At that time, it was pretty cheap to get your hands on a PS1, while the new consoles were very expensive. And so, a lot of people that just wanted a console to play some games, they chose the cheaper PS1, with an incredibly vast and established library of games. So, creating a peripheral for a console that still sold so much made perfect sense. But there's more to it than that. Sony actually marketed the LCD screen as a way to play your already small PS1 as a sort of portable device, and the press release of the time that can still be found online is a proof of that. Play wherever you want, in any house or in a car or during a trip. To further strengthen this idea, the LCD screen also had a car adapter, so you could plug your PS1 console in your car's socket and just use it like that. Pretty much the dream of any 90s kid. In a way, this was Sony testing the waters for a potential interest in its customers to play PlayStation games on the go, something that eventually convinced the Japanese colossus to enter the portable console market with the release of the PSP in 2004. Unsurprisingly, that was also the year the PSOne LCD screen production came to an end, signing a short but effective lifespan for the peripheral. So yeah, this little thing right here definitely played its role in a way. It's accessories like this that made the late 90s and early 2000s such a special moment in video game history. We were so close to achieve everything that we always wanted from video games, like high quality gaming on the go, that the tools companies used as prototypes to actually get there felt special, just as they feel special right now. In a way, these are relics of what is in my opinion the golden age of video games and gaming hardware. Nowadays, the PSOne LCD screen is not too hard to find, but prices have definitely got out of hand, especially if you're trying to score the combo pack you see here in this video. Indeed, prices range from $300 to $800 depending on conditions. Definitely not cheap. Whether it's worth spending that amount of money for this peripheral is obviously up to whoever is interested, but it's undeniable that this little piece of PlayStation history feels and looks special, in a sort of retro-futuristic way. Also, if you're asking yourself whether you should use this LCD screen as a substitute for a regular CRT TV, well, while this is a viable way to play, definitely go with a CRT screen if you're planning to simply play at home. There are so many ways to play PS1 games these days that this LCD screen right here, today, really makes more sense from a collecting point of view rather than functional. One thing is for sure, the PlayStation era was something special and a unique moment in popular culture. And it's peripherals like this little cute LCD screen here that, back then, really made us feel like the future was finally there. As always, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one.